Alright, so I'm assuming you've tried a lot of things to try to lose weight and it hasn't actually worked out for you. Or you've tried things, but they haven't actually worked as well as you wanted to actually lose weight. I'm going to go over all the reasons that you might not be losing weight and logical reasons why that's not true or actually ways to fix it. Almost all reasons or excuses that you might have, or anything about genetics, whatever you might think about it, losing weight, I'll be covering a lot about that. Anytime you eat sugar, it basically converts a lot of whatever you eat into fat. Now I'm Amon. I help people with mental and physical health reframes similar to these to help them achieve their goal. If you're watching this video, your goal is probably to lose weight, and I'll help you with that. Okay, so there's a lot of things on this list. So the first one that I would probably say a lot of people struggle with when they try to lose weight is cravings for sugar. So if you crave sugar, you can take a progressive overload approach to it. So maybe when you actually crave sugar, you would have a whole chocolate bar plus some sort of sugary drink, and that's what you would do. But next time, just only eat the chocolate bar. The next time, eat maybe half. The next time, take a bite. Slowly but surely, you'll phase out the sugar from your diet. And on top of that, kind of like brainwashing yourself also helps a lot. So what I did was I would say like, I hate sugar. Sugar isn't for me. I used to be like, I was obese and I would say I don't like sugar, right? It doesn't make sense. But eventually you start believing that and you start making that your thing because you tell everyone, I don't like sugar. I don't want to eat it anymore, right? So instead of being the person who wants to quit sugar, you are the person who has quit sugar. So that puts you in the state where you can completely deny sugar whenever anyone asks you if you want to have like ice cream or something because you don't eat sugar. And it's a good frame to actually, start a diet with. And when you phase out that sugar, you can add more good food into your diet. And maybe every time you eat sugar or chocolate or something like that, you can pair it with something healthy. And also another thing to actually realize is that anytime you eat sugar, it basically converts a lot of whatever you eat into fat directly. So if you're trying to lose fat and look a little bit less, like overweight, sugar is literally the exact counter to that. So the next one is lack of exercise. So just do one push-up right now. So here I'm gonna do one. So if you can't do one push-up, just do one squat. And if you can't even do one squat, then you're kind of cooked. So exercise isn't necessary to lose weight, but it's necessary to actually be healthy. Right now, if your goal is to lose weight, being healthy should take a little bit less of a precedence over losing weight, because I guess it's kind of like part of actually being healthy, being in a proper weight category, like a proper BMI. But, the main thing is not to be like healthy at this point, is to lose the weight. Losing weight is probably the biggest thing that you can actually do to actually become a lot more healthy. If you want to be healthy and lose weight, you should probably be doing like lifting weights, cardio, and just trying to be agile. But if you have a lot of weight, then it's going to be kind of hard to do any of those things, right? To be, lifting weight or doing cardio. So what I would suggest is just pick one goal, get good at it, and then move on to the next one. Because what I did was I lost 20 pounds and I really didn't do any exercise or anything like that, only fasting. Then I lost around 20 more pounds and then started weight training. And then I ended up hurting my back. I went a little bit too hard with weight training. And then I just stopped training. I lost 15 more pounds again with fasting and just like eating less. Then my back healed. I started training regularly again. And then I've been training regularly since then up until now. And then I lost a lot of fat. So the first goal was to actually lose the weight. And then the second goal was to make muscle and then, go to the gym every single day. So that's where I'm at now. But you have to pick and choose and you have to start off in a certain way. If you try to do too many things at once, you're going to kind of fail. But what you should be doing is probably, doing as much as you can, right? To the point where you're a little bit uncomfortable and it's a little bit too much for you. And then once you start to get comfortable with that, then you add on more and continue expanding like that. So genetic reasons, maybe that might be another way that you think that you can't lose weight. But what genetic reason is there actually for you to be overweight or fat? Is there any skinny people in your whole family? If there are, then you're definitely not. It's not a genetic reason. There's like these YouTube channels online saying like that obesity isn't a choice. I kind of believe that's bullshit. If you eat 1,000 more calories than you burn every single day for like 5-6 years, you're obviously gonna become obese. If you have these excuses or see these excuses from people around you saying like a little bit of sugar after a long day of hard work isn't that bad, when your work day kind of looks like this. Bands is calling. Yeah, hello? Bands is calling. Bands. So that's how your workday looks, but you feel you need sugar at the end of the day to reward yourself. So of course you're gonna be fat if your day looks like that and you're making excuses like that. There obviously are some genetic reasons. Some people, they eat so much, but they have such a little weight and they're like 10% body fat. Some people, they barely eat or they're at 30%. But is that in your control? Nah. So why do you care so much about it, right? It's like that kid in math class who, gets pretty good grades without even trying. By the way, I'm one of those people. Let me show you right here. So I'm one of those people who naturally just talented at math. Right here, math test, calculus, 90. 97. Okay, see that right there, 97. She even put a smiley face there. Now see, the thing for me though is it's easy, it's just natural. It's just like simple for me, but for most people, they actually have zero way of, you know, being that good unless they actually really try. It's the thing, like, it's unfair advantages, right? I have that unfair advantage, but most people don't, so they have to develop themselves to actually become that sort of person. And if you're kind of obese and you eat very little but you have a lot of weight, then that's your unfair disadvantage. You can't really do anything to change that. What you can do though is just eat a lot less, work out a lot more, do a lot of things over a long period of time to go ahead and change that. And if we're really being honest, I don't think it's genetic reasons, because if you really take a look at what you eat, who you surround yourself with, the beliefs that you have, if you believe you can't lose weight, then why are you going to try to lose weight? It's not going to work. If you do believe you are going to be able to lose weight, then you're going to figure out a way to make it work. When you hit a roadblock, it's not going to like completely give up on losing weight. You're going to find out a way to make it work specifically for you. And that's why I believe it's like very key to actually use a lot of research and find out your own opinions, your own beliefs about weight loss, because my opinions and beliefs might not work for you, but they have worked for me. So that's all I can tell you. And there's 3 ways that you can go ahead and improve yourself in a way that you have an unfair disadvantage, or if you have an unfair advantage, you can improve that as well. But you have to either do more to catch up to the person who's already up there but you're not there yet. You have to do something better. So if they're doing it in a very inefficient way, then you can do it efficiently and do more so you can get up to par and then get beyond them. And the third way, you can do something different. So if you do something completely different that they're not doing, then you might be able to like 2 or 3x the kind of work that they do. Now, is that actually fair? No, but like life isn't fair, and you can either decide to take control of what you can actually input into life and decide that you have no control over what's outputted. So you can every day go to the gym, but you know, have no results. Now that's not fair, right? But all you can control is the input. So maybe you have to, you know, do more at the gym. You have to do something better at the gym, better form. Maybe you have to do something different exercises, right? 3 ways to improve at anything. And then eventually you'll find out what inputs actually give you the correct output. So maybe the way that you currently try to lose weight is not working at all. Maybe you've done more, maybe you've done more, but you haven't done something better. There's something that you try to do better in order to start losing weight. Once you do that, then you're gonna start to lose weight. And if that doesn't work, then you have to do something different, the third way. And then at that point, you must be able to find out some sort of thing that actually works to help you lose weight. If not, then continue, do more, better, different. So, you know, life isn't fair. You have to work harder towards getting your goals, right? And the thing is, it's not like you are the only person in the world with unfair disadvantages. You also have unfair advantages, right? It's all balanced. So another one, diabetes or insulin resistance. So if you have insulin resistance or diabetes or something like that, right? You might be saying that, well, you know, that's not going to help you lose weight because you have that. So again, from what I said in the last part, it doesn't really mean anything. That's just an unfair disadvantage. My mom has that as well. But insulin basically just stops leptin, and leptin is what actually signals to our brain that we're full and we've eaten enough. And if insulin blocks a leptin signal, then that means that we'll be able to eat more. And on top of that, insulin also stores whatever energy that we have that's unused and turns that into fat. So what's the solution here, right? So sugar, it causes an insulin spike, or, you know, the lack of insulin or the resistance to insulin that you have, same effect, right? But that basically makes you have the calories that you have in your body right now and turns it into fat. So what's the starting part of this, right? Sugar. You just have to cut out sugar completely, right? Again, progressive overload. Start with eating half of what you ate before. If you ate like half a bowl of chips and maybe half, a full chocolate bar, eat half next time. Continue to lose that, and then continue to add more good food into your diet. I've gone over this in a lot of videos. On top of that, intermittent fasting will help you a lot with reducing the effects that sugar might have if you have like a small amount in your diet. And sugar before a meal, maybe 1 to 2 hours. If you have before a meal, that will probably reduce the effects that sugar will have. But if you have it after a meal, that's kind of like the worst thing that you can do at all for fat loss. So, you know, sugary drinks, sugar, it triggers an insulin spike, and that actually takes calories that you eat and turns it into fat. So obviously, every fast food place does this. You have a burger, which is maybe like 300-400 calories, maybe 500-600, right? It's not that much compared to like home cooked food. Maybe you can eat like 2,000 calories in one sitting if it was home cooked food, right? But then what they catch you with is soda. That's going to make you fat. That's going to make you have that, that spike of dopamine, which is going to make you like the food more. On top of that, it's going to make you actually store all of that fat that you probably could. So maybe with that, let's say it's 50 grams of carbs, let's say 50 grams of carbs and 50 grams of fat in like the whole meal, whatever, right? It's gonna store a lot of that, fat. So let's just say at the end of the day, you're 75 grams of fat more in your body fat, right? Over the good days, it's gonna make you a lot more fat and to a point where you gain like 2 or 3 kilograms, right? So if you have a sugary drink or anything like that after a meal, then you can just consider that you're not actually fasting. You're not going to be losing weight. You're not going to be doing anything like that, right? Okay, so slow metabolism. I have a slow metabolism too. You can actually change it. So intermittent fasting helps you change metabolism a lot. If you have a really fast metabolism because you're young, just continue, just take that as a blessing, because you'll be able to eat a lot. You'll be able to eat a lot of protein, gain a lot of muscle, and you should be able to lose fat pretty easily by just eating a tiny bit less. If our ancestors ate once per day, they had a hunt or a big harvest, and that's what they ate for the day. They use energy to make that food. That energy comes back into their bodies. They repair, oversleep, and get ready to do it the next day. But what we do now, we completely disregard what our bodies tell us and what our bodies are actually evolved to do. So it's kind of obvious how our bodies will react to what we do to them. We continue eating, our bodies think, okay, there's a lot of food available, so let's go store as much of that into fat as possible. That way we'll be able to, if there's ever like a famine or anything like that, we'll be able to take from that fat, because your body doesn't know the next time you're going to eat. You're just storing as much food as you can into it, right? And obviously we're going to be fat. So if you intermittent fast and go back to how our ancestors ate, then yeah, you should be golden. I have a couple of videos on it that'll be at the end of the video, or you can click in the description right now. Next one, calories. So let's say you can't really eat much, right? So if you're somehow worried about fitting the calories for your goal in the day, maybe you have to eat 1,700 calories to lose weight. And then you think, okay, I'll break that up into 4 periods of eating. And then you try to eat like very little calories for each of those sessions, and it's going to be hard, right? You can't really make anything that's like 200 or 300 calories. You can't really make anything that tastes good and that actually makes you full in 300 to 400 calories. That's why I kind of hate the advice of like eat every 2 hours, because that's the advice that they give in high school, and that's like horrible advice. That's not going to make you lose any fat at all, because people don't really know how much calories are in something, and they also don't know how much of an effect that sugar in those calories are going to have. This is something that you get with experience. So what I would recommend is getting an app like MyFitnessPal, which will help you actually figure out what the sugar and calorie content in all food would be. Make sure you like weigh up that food so you know. Weigh it on like a scale or something like that. And then intermittent fasting will also help a lot. So eat nothing up until 4 p.m. From 4 p.m. to like 7 p.m. Continue to eat, and then go sleep, and you're fasting through the day. And you can just eat as much as you can, but like obviously the one rule, don't eat sugar at all. No sugary drinks, no coffee with sugar, no anything like that. And you might be able to barely fit in 2,000 calories, right, in just one sitting. So it's gonna be a lot easier, because you can't really add too much, especially if you don't eat snacks or like sugar or anything like that. So how many times you can eat. So if that's a problem, then again, intermittent fasting. If your parents or roommates buy junk food, then if people around you buy junk food, just move away. If you can't move away, then just let them know your goals. If they truly respect you, they'll understand and help you as much as they can. But if they don't care, then one, they don't care about your goals. Don't listen to their advice. So just follow what you know to be true, the advice that you're getting from people who have gone through the journey and been there like I have. And 2, you're gonna have to hold your frame longer than they do. So if they try to get you to eat sugar and they keep on asking you, right? One switch that you can make is, instead of I'm trying to quit sugar, say I quit sugar, I don't eat it anymore. That's it. Instead of saying I'm trying to quit junk food, say I don't eat junk food, I don't eat it anymore. It's a big switch, and that's kind of mindset switch that you actually need to stop eating that and to resist what people who don't care about your goals try to actually make you do. So if you hold your frame longer than they do, that means that they realize that you cannot be changed towards their favor, and that you are going to say who you are, and they'll probably change towards your favor or completely, just not care, I guess. So what does that mean? Just follow your advice, the advice that you're getting from people who have been there, from quality sources. So you don't want to learn how to become rich from a poor person, right? So don't listen to your business teachers on how to make money. They're in the school teaching you, making less money than you would if you actually took like a sales job or something like that. And don't take diet advice from people who are unhealthy or are fat, right? That's why I don't trust a fat doctor, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would I listen to what they have to say about diet, right? So just completely disregard their attempts or their ideas, what their beliefs are, their values, because they clearly do not align with what you want to do with your life. If they said come out with us, we haven't eaten out in a long time. If it's been like a year, then yeah, go, because like you've been on your diet for a year. But if you're watching this video, you probably haven't been on a diet at all. So just completely disregard that. You have a goal, you want to achieve that, right? So you have to think about it. If they actually really don't respect your goals and they're offering to, you know, get you off your goals to have fun, then who do you want to really listen to? Yourself and your goals, or them? If they really, you know, just tell them I'm losing weight, right? Eventually they'll realize that they can't change you to be who they want you to be, but you'll just stay who you are and who you want to be. So yeah, just change yourself. So change yourself to you know, other people. And again, maybe another excuse would be like, people around me rope me in to, you know, whatever they eat. Just disregard their attempts to pull you in with them. Okay, that's like an earthquake happening right now. Okay. So you're not like them anymore. You want to improve your health. They don't want to. They don't respect your goals. And it doesn't seem like they want to at all if they're not like willing to change. So just don't hang around with them. They're not your friends. If you have to, or you have no other better option, like they're your family, then slowly just hold your frame, realize who you want to be, prioritize your goals over what they say, and then eventually they'll change to be who you are, because whoever stands longer is just gonna win. So if you like this video, I have a video on intermittent fasting, which I referenced a couple of times. I talked about it like in this video, but if you actually want the step-by-step guide on how I started doing intermittent fasting, then you can check it out somewhere in the video description or somewhere on screen right now. And yeah, remember, this is what hard feels like. And if you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to do the hard choices.